Hi everyone, welcome to your Modern Maven Tarot Collective Tarot for the new moon in Capricorn on December 30th, 2024. Thank you so much for joining me. If this does end up resonating, please do hit that like button and subscribe to Modern Maven Tarot. And thank you to all my subscribers. This new moon, I am so excited about. I have definitely been feeling this energy with the days leading up to this new moon. If you have to, please comment, because there has been a surge of needing to organize, to straighten up, to make sure that you are ready for the new year. Now we have January 1st just around the corner, but we also have the Lunar New Year that's coming, okay? And this is going to be the year of the snake. Highly suggest that you check out Donna Stellhorn's videos on the Lunar New Year. Honestly, a lot of the time, Lunar New Year messages resonate a lot more with me than my Western astrology. So it's wonderful to incorporate that energy along with your Western astrology, okay? Also, too, another astrology channel I just found, Lunatic Astrology. Highly recommend. Amazing breakdowns, super detailed, not too much fluff, if you will, when it comes to the content, direct and straight to the point, and roughly like 20 to 30 minutes per video. Highly recommend. Check out their channel. It was fantastic. I just found them. And also too, for this new moon in Capricorn, I always suggest checking out Pam Gregory and Heather Ensworth. Their recaps are always amazing and motivating and encouraging, okay? So going back to this new moon in Capricorn, if you've been feeling this urge to reorganize, to get things set, it's exactly what you should be feeling. Capricorn is a grounded earth energy. It's very caring, practical, protective, okay? So this is how I want to visualize coming into the new year. Think of yourself as a squirrel and you're burying your nuts, right? And like you're getting ready for the winter. But if you don't know where you put your nuts, you might cause some frantic energy. So what we're doing right now, 2025 is huge. We're going to be having nodal shifts. We're going to be going into North Node in Pisces. And me as a Pisces, super excited about this. But Pisces, remember, is very important to go with the flow, okay? We want to flow with that energy, flow with our emotions. Capricorn, kind of the opposite. When it comes to shadow energy, it can be very, stubborn, yes, and kind of set in your ways, kind of shutting out, other ways of moving. And so just if you do have strong Capricorn placements and you're watching this, or strong earth energy, just make sure that the Pisces energy, you're understanding with this North Node energy, that it's about flowing with the energy, making sure that you are paying attention to the synchronicities, the signs that are coming in, and saying yes to where you're being guided to say yes to the intentions you set. Another important thing, your intentions you're setting, okay? So this new moon is in Capricorn. It's at, I believe, 9 degrees. And so see in your chart if you have any planets at 9 degrees or around that in Capricorn, what house 9 degrees of Capricorn is in, okay? If you have houses that rule, like personally, I have 8th and 9th house that Capricorn rules. So you really want to make sure, because that's where we are setting our intentions. Like for me, 8th house, it's about, death, rebirth, letting go, money, inheritance, relationships, supporting relationships, and then 9th house, travel, philosophy, and all these things. And so that's where I should be putting my intentions, okay? And so check what house it is in, because your intentions can get all over the place, but you really want to make sure that you're honing in on specifically where this energy is, because this is a preparation, right? New moons are welcoming and new, and then we have the work that comes with it, and the cycle continues every month. So going back to the squirrel with nuts, because my Gemini rising brain already just like traveled everywhere. So the squirrel with nuts, this is something that's so important, because, and why it's important to get organized, why it's, get your list of the things you want to achieve in 2025. And this is, if ever there was a time last year and this year for doing resolutions, the energy is there for you, okay? And reflect back. If you can find your resolutions from 2024, what did you achieve? What didn't you achieve? How do you feel about that? Because that's also important when you're setting these new intentions, okay? Were there things that got in your way? Did you get in your way? All of these things we want to be reflecting on with this new moon. And so while we're welcoming in new, a lot of it is decluttering, okay? Because it's all about organizing. And so like I said, if you buried your nut and you unfortunately scattered your energy a little bit too much in all these different places, you're not going to be able to find that. You're not going to be able to see it and utilize it, if you will. But on the other hand too, those seeds that you planted, they are growing. And so you just want to make sure that you recognize where you're planting these seeds and make sure you focus attention on them, okay? Just make sure you're really paying attention to grounded earth energy, and you want to be ahead of the game, okay? Because all of this, we're setting the stage, if you will, for 2025. Another thing that is important, the Mars in Leo retrograde that we're experiencing, that happened on January 6th. It's going to be retrograding into Cancer in January. But for now, we're feeling this drive, we're feeling this fire energy. And another reason, Chiron and Aries just went direct yesterday, the 29th, okay? So the day before the new moon, Chiron went direct, okay? The wounded warrior, that healing energy, all right? All the things we were reflecting on and healing, we're ready to take action, if you will. And so let that fiery energy work in your benefit with compassion of Pisces energy, because we don't want our egos asserting ourselves in ways that create shadow energy. Okay, there's just a strong message to very be careful with how you're choosing to assert yourself, because this is about asserting yourself with integrity and passion. And with that retrograde energy, it could cause some disruptions, if you will, if we're very ego heavy. Okay, making sure we're just balancing that. Now, let's get to some of the quick messages that came through while I was clearing the cards. You can always look at the timestamps in the description or the pinned comment, because I put timestamps where you can skip ahead if you don't want all the extra details. Okay, so what came through while I was clearing the cards? Stability, loyalty, reliability. Okay, and that came through with a new deck that I'm going to be using. It's the Green Witch's Oracle deck. Really excited. We're going to use that to clarify for suggestions of what you can do to work with the energy. It was for the trunk. And what's so amazing about this, I'm hoping we see a lot of earth energy in this reading, is the trunk, finding your roots and being grounded. A lot of messages that came through were about grounding, but also how we can do some self-sabotage, unfortunately. So stability, loyalty, reliability. I do think that with these seeds that we're planting with this new moon, we do want to focus on that energy. We do, not only with what we want from others, but what we want from ourselves, okay? We need the loyalty to ourselves. We need to be reliable to ourselves, holding ourselves accountable. And another thing that came through, though, was phobias and saboteur. And so I'm really getting a strong message, though. The saboteur, it's self-sabotage. Now, you can be experiencing somebody else's self-sabotage into your life, but what this is really about is letting go of the distractions of others and getting to your energy, okay? Because the phobias, the fears, once January 1st hits, honestly, like, we're going to be seeing a lot of drama, if you will. This Mars retrograde in Leo is going to bring the drama, okay? And so here's where it's like what Pam Gregory says, stay on your eagle's perch, all right? It's so important. And getting dedicated, focused on what you're doing, where you're going, and let the rest fall away, okay? Now, this is a really cool one that is important, especially with these nodal shifts. Another message that came through was, what would happen if I didn't try to control my future? And this is so important with that nodal shift in Pisces, like I was saying, because that nodal shift in Pisces is all about going with the flow, all right? Pisces, you can go with the flow, unfortunately, to a detriment as well, right? It's about that balance. But with the fish too, they are swimming against each other. And so that's something we really want to think about with that self-sabotaging energy when it comes to our future, when it comes to these seeds we're planting for our future, that you need to recognize where you swim against yourself, okay? And that, this is going to be for 18 months, the nodal shift into Pisces, North Node, Virgo, South Node, okay? And then always remember, too, the South Node is about your lessons, your karmic energy that's coming in. And so there will be a lot of probably over-analyzing of our past and what we've done. Make sure, to check where your South Node is and the karmic energy you've brought in from past lives. But there's probably going to be a lot of attention to detail, if you will, of that. And we don't want to get bogged down in that, all right? Pisces is all about compassion, empathy, and a really positive, optimistic outlook, right? Letting a little magic in. And so that's really where we want to put our focus in. But when those things do pop up, how can you take that Pisces energy to kind of heal it and clear it, okay? So we already went through the Seven of Wands and the Mars retrograde. Very important. Another thing, Knight of Pentacles came through. So Knight of Pentacles, there's a lot of growth or there's a lot of opportunity for growth when it comes to our health and our finances, all right? And so this is where somebody, because Knights are people, right? They're generally like high energy people. And this could be where somebody comes into our lives that is at that vibration of everything that this new moon is about getting out there, achieving your goals, right? Like this is where, you know, you make a new friend and you know, go for a walk every morning, or so, there's something where it's aligning with the forward moving energy. It's very motivated, it's very dedicated. And it doesn't, like, that energy does not hold back, okay? And it's a very reliable energy. So I'm going back to the fact that reliability was at the beginning. If you're somebody who is looking for like a super reliable person, that could be what this energy is, okay? So it's making sure that we say yes to the energies that are bringing in the new for us, all right? So very important. Another thing that came through was Earth Dragon energy, which is so wonderful to see. Make sure you're staying grounded, and it's about clearing what isn't needed, all right? And so if you have a cluttered space, please, 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 please use the days before and the days after this new moon to declutter, to get ready. And again, like I said, we have that Lunar New Year at the end of January as well. And so, you know, if you saw this and you're like, oh, dang, this already passed, like there's never a bad time to clear your space, okay? But the more you can organize, the more you can clear the space, the more you're going to clear your head, all right? And then the last thing that popped up while I was clearing the cards was green calcite, which is letting go. So much of this is letting go of everything 2024 and before. 2024 and before, okay? Whatever we're still holding on to that is not serving us mentally, physically, this is the time to just clear it, let it go. Don't even write it in your intentions like, I want to let go of this. New moons aren't meant for that. It's when these intrusive thoughts pop up, we don't even allow them in, okay? Not ignoring your problems, all right? But just making sure that you recognize if you are focusing on something from the past, like you can't change the past, right? And so whatever it is from the past, you can't change that. You can just accept the new ways to shift. All right. And remember, utilize that Pisces energy that's coming through because it's so very important to what we're dawning. Okay, so here's another thing before we get started. Pluto and Aquarius. Aquarius is the water bearer, right? And the nodal energy of Pisces. Pisces is the water. North Node is the future. All right, it's so important right now to utilize those energies, innovation and optimism, all of this stuff together because they're working in harmony, all right? And so even though there's going to be a lot of transformation, there's going to be a lot of chaos and drama in the collective, you yourself can use that grounded Capricorn energy. You yourself can use the compassion, the empathy, the optimism of Pisces to move forward. Okay. All right. So let's get into this collective tarot because I am so excited to see what we got going on. Like I said, I do think that we will be seeing a lot of earth energy, justice, balance. Again, that Mars and Leo retrograde. Please be mindful of that. Okay. And also like what sign rules your Mars, because a lot of us are going to be, you could have some reactionary energy. Like I'm so burnt out. I'm so tired. That can cause some ways of asserting ourselves because of wounds, if you will. But yeah, the fresh start energy and moving forward, a lot of travel too is going to be very evident, okay? So especially to like see where this new moon is falling for you, because like if it is your 9th house, that does indicate a lot of travel. It does indicate a lot of moving forward. But look at that, 9 of Cups. And judgment, okay? Judgment ruled by Pluto, 9 of Cups, Jupiter and Pisces, expansion through utilizing that Pisces energy, all right? Focusing on what you have, gratitude, optimism, all right? Answering the wake-up call. So a lot of this too, like I said, you're going to get nudges. If there's something related to where you're meant to be, you're going to be getting those nudges. You're going to be getting those impulsive feelings of needing to take action. But this is reminding you, delayed gratification, okay? Like we have to put in the work. We have to put in the energy and just a little bit at a time. We're getting this rushed feeling. That's what I think is really important. It's like this now or never, which yes, put your energy into it, but don't put it into don't put anxious, fearful energy into moving forward. Like, I need to get this done now, right? But not putting it off either, right? It's know thyself and nothing in excess. It sounds easy, but it's the hardest thing in the world to do, okay? So yeah, practicality with passion. I think that's actually a very good message that I'm going to write down quickly before we start. Practicality and passion. And also too, like, drop in, what are you trying to manifest, you know, like, call on other people to, like, you know, resonate with that, put out a quick thought to help you reach your goals, okay? But practicality and passion, I really like those two together. That is going to be a very effective way of moving forward. A very effective way. And also too, like, as far as, you know, difficulties and over analyzing, you know, negative thinking, we're going to clear that from within. We're not going to find it from without ourselves. And so this is another important message, because this is something that I've been noticing is like oversaturation, and why I've actually taken like my I've been doing less readings, is because I kind of think that sometimes there's too much, right? And so I feel like we're meant to kind of sit and like allow certain messages to saturate a little bit. And I don't think that we give ourselves that when we're watching, you know, 5 different readings a week. And so I personally have been taking a step back, because I do think, yeah, like that balance is like really important, and getting back to who we are, all right? Really getting back to focusing on that inward journey, because I think that there's hidden messages within us that are going to help Pluto and help with that transformation. But sometimes we rely on those messages from outside of ourselves, okay? Especially with social media. It's so easy to do that. And so it's just working with this energy, all right? Just make sure that you always give yourself compassion and empathy, and just show up and be dedicated to what it is you want. So let's see what we have for the collective, okay? For the new moon in Capricorn, December 30th. Also, don't forget, I will be doing a sign by sign poll at the end. So each sign can have a card that clarifies. Oh, nice. Okay, interesting. That was not the message I was thinking to get with clearing those cards. Yeah, so King of Cups, 2 of Cups, and Judgment, all right? So you might actually, whoever is watching this, you might have some strong messages related to relationships, dependability, harmony, right? Because again, Pisces is coming in here. Like, Pisces is like, man, just love each other, right? Like, why can't we all just love each other, enjoy the contrast in our relationships, right? A lot of healing energy. So as much as this is an interesting message, as much as this is about your goals and your practical, you know, earth energy, we really want to make sure that when it comes to our relationships, we're seeing the mirror of what we consume with our personal relationships, okay? And so, like, I mean, if you watch stuff with a lot of drama and then you're getting a lot of drama in your relationships, that's something that's an interesting thought that I never really thought about before. But it's really about making sure that you're aligning with people who are connected to your dreams, people who are connected to, who are rooting for you, if you will, right? I'm getting a lot of reflection. It's so funny because I don't even see a single earth card here. which is actually kind of interesting, because this is making sense. So there's a lot of water energy here, okay? And even though this is a sword card, we have the tears coming down. And I do think that this is actually very good and very healthy, setting us up, because we need the water to nurture the earth for our seeds to grow, okay? And so we have a lot of messages coming through, a lot from the collective. And so this is all about making sure that we are paying attention to our dreams as well. I don't know if you've been getting a lot of vivid dreams. I know I have, a lot related to this nodal shift as well. Maybe it's because I'm a Pisces, but let me know if you are too. But King of Cups, seeing that dependable, loyal, nurture, father energy. And the 2 of Cups, again, like these mutual interests, enjoyed with somebody, harmonious relationships. Like this is that energy. I think it's like a preview of what we're getting with this Pisces nodal shift, okay? Like we're getting a glimpse of setting intentions with this new moon of the relationships that we have, the ones we're thankful for. If there's things in our relationships, again, not just other people, but with ourselves. All right. Like how can we nurture ourselves more? And going back to the beginning, stability, loyalty, reliability, that energy that was coming through, we need that more for ourselves than anybody else. Okay. So always remember that. Overall energy for this new moon is the 6 of Cups. Now this is Sun in Scorpio. And this is a very fascinating energy because I do think this new moon is affected by that Chiron and Aries going direct more than maybe we realize. Okay, remember the wounded healer, healing our ego. I think we're really recognizing and looking back and reflecting on, as we're leaving this new year, we're reflecting on a lot of things from the past. And it could be connections to our childhood. It could be connections to childhood dreams, okay? What is it that where it's like, man, like I always wanted that and I never pursued it, and now is the time to do it, okay? Pisces the Dreamer is coming in here to encourage all of us to pursue our dreams, whatever it is, okay? And so this is a very nice energy for... There's a lot of duality to this energy, okay? There's a lot of reflecting on things that we always wished for, but also things that the wounded healer brought back up, you know, to the surface, okay? So there's going to be a duality. There's going to be a back and forth of the optimism and then the feelings of woundedness, if you will, especially seeing this 3 of Swords here, okay? And so whatever that is for you, we really want to just make sure that we welcome in all of that energy, okay? Now, the High Priestess. The High Priestess is what you need more of, okay? And this is ruled by the moon. This is a black moon as well because it's the 2nd new moon in this month of December. This is really making sure that you're paying attention to your intuition, all right? Seeing below the surface, investigating what it is that is at the root of whatever is happening here. And so what's fascinating is because the 3 of Swords is in the area of what you have the right amount of, Saturn and Libra. And so there is a strong message of the Saturn, the taskmaster, right? There's a strong message of like a hurt that comes from this feeling, you know, justice and balance and fairness, right? And this is where we want to say yes to releasing this energy because this is the perfect time to release it. But the way we're going to release it is by recognizing that that is a thing of the past, all right? Like it feels like something keeps bubbling back up. And it could be very deep, or it, you know, it could be something within the past couple of years, especially since like 2023 is what I'm getting. But especially with the 3 here. Again, you let the water nurture the earth, okay? There's something here too. If you're feeling emotional, feel like you're going to have an emotional breakdown, have it. You're meant to, all right? You're not meant to bottle that stuff up. And again, that's what a Pisces energy, North Node in Pisces, like, is going to be encouraging people to really be vulnerable, to release without fear of, you know, how they look, right? Not letting that ego energy get the best of them. What I find fascinating is the area of what you need less of is the Sun, okay? And so here's where, because the Sun is about like contentment and, you know, joy and gratitude and like the major completion of the major arcana, right? And so there's something here to, we don't want to just like put it on autopilot right now, okay? This is a time for action. It's a time for release. It's a time for welcoming in. It's a time for pursuing your dreams, okay? Now, what you can change, 8 of Wands, all right? This is Mercury and Sagittarius. This is forward motion. It's confidence. It's variety. It's getting out there and seeking out new experiences. And so again, we don't want to be too comfortable, okay? Like that. I know that's, again, like if you're feeling the need to take action, take action. Those impulses are there to help you move forward. And the one thing that'll get us collectively in a rut is getting back to that comfort. And as the collective reading, this can also indicate, you know, that there's been disruptions, and the collective will try and get us back into like, oh no, you're fine just where you are. Like things seeming to like fall into place, if you will. And that's where it's like, you really want to make sure that you're seeing what's a distraction and you're seeing what's actually moving you forward, okay? And I love that the Sagittarius energy is in here because that's all about optimism and spirituality and an outgoing attitude, okay? And so that's where it's like, you are meant to take action. And so what you can change is how you utilize this, and don't sit on that energy. What you need to accept, Ace of Cups. Okay, so this is a fresh emotional start. Replenishing your emotions needs to be a top priority. And so here's the deal too with this Capricorn energy of like reorganizing, getting things ready, clearing what needs to be cleared, like, right? Like clearing the weeds out of the soil. That is part of welcoming in this fresh start, right? You need to declutter, you need to clear. You need to clear any emotions that are keeping you attached to something, whether or not you realize it still is, okay? Because that's a lot of the subconscious energy we're not going to be seeing, but we have the High Priestess here, all right? Excuse me, the High Priestess, that just tells me that there's some purging that needs to happen here. Every time that happens, every time I have a burp, I know that's like, we need to accept the purging. We need to accept the going deep and releasing, okay? Because this fresh start, and even though this isn't ruled by Pisces, I love that the Pisces is here because I really do think that this nodal shift into Pisces in January is going to be huge for this, all right? But again, Pisces, we can be lazy. we can be content even in a really not great situation, right? Like we can find ways to take the lazy river and just flow. And like, that's why this is here, is like, this is a time for action. This is a time for continuing. What I find fascinating is the Nine of Wands is the, like where things are heading. It's Moon and Sagittarius, but this is about recognizing that you have the strength within you to continue going, all right? I'm going back to Saturn and Pisces energy of hard work and compassion, right? Like it's going to take strength. It's going to take discipline. It's going to be prepared. Like, so this is a time where, again, like putting your health first, getting rid of distractions and just making sure that you flesh out your dreams in a very practical way, but give yourself the personal power to say, I can achieve anything I put my mind to, all right? Because if you're giving up, you don't even realize the finish line is like right here, right? And so that's just something where we can't focus on instant gratification. We can't focus on things in a manner of looking at how hard it is. Look at how strong you're becoming, all right? That's something that's important. Because like I said, this is something, it's going to be very easy to be like, man, it's just so much easier to just stay where I am. And that's fine, right? Like you don't have to always be changing, but we're being encouraged, all right? Pluto in Aquarius is here. We're being encouraged to change certain aspects of our life, all right? Okay, so I am going to get, this is the Green Witch's Oracle. I'm going to start adding this. It's helpful suggestions of how you can, utilize energy, clear energy. I've never used this deck before, so it might take a second here, but I really am excited. Like I said, there's a lot of release and a lot of new clearing energy. Okay. Yeah, so this is fascinating. So the three energies that came through were fog, spring, and summer. And so I think like in these first few months, there might be feeling like we're lost in the fog, right? And that again, this can be part of it, is that childhood energy and this Three of Swords. But by spring, I think that's where we really see all of these seeds that we planted, where the rebirth really is feeling. But you want to be prepared, right? You want to be energetically prepared. And then summer, expansion and growth. And so this really aligns with the astrology that is coming, right? I just don't get lost in the fog, okay? And that's why the grounding energy, focusing on you, focusing on your energy is going to be so very important, okay? All right, so I'm going to look at these really quickly. So bear with me because, like I said, this is a new deck. And these are not alphabetical. All right. Was not expecting that. Hold on. Where, oh, where? It would be helpful if these were alphabetical. All right, fog. Okay, so the first one. The reflection to ask yourself is, do you have a problem plaguing you that could benefit from a different perspective? And I do think that's what this Three of Swords is, right? There's this lesson here. And perhaps that if we saw it from a different perspective, we could really see it differently, okay? All right, and spring and summer, here we go, spring. Okay, so the thing to reflect here is there a project you want to launch that you've previously ignored? And I think that is important because, again, going back to childhood dreams, like, is there something that you wanted to pursue and you were pursuing and you put it off, okay? Because that might be important. And then summer, what parts of your life can you expand to feel more fulfilled, okay? So that's why that getting lost in the fog, like I said, we don't want to just let things be right now, all right? It's about taking action and moving forward, knowing you have the strength, and it's going to make that inner child happy. I hope you realize that, all right? So let's see what past life energy is related to this fog and related to this Three of Swords here. All right, what past life energy in the collective? Yeah, I do think, like, I mean, it's easy too with this interchange because, yes, is Pluto and Aquarius, of course, but it's a slow-moving planet, so we still have that Capricorn, Pluto and Capricorn energy with us, right? We still see it right in our faces. Okay. Oh, my gosh. Oh, wow. Okay. All right, so past life energy that is affecting us right now is communal living, angels, and spirituality and religion. This is actually interesting too, having these two prominent Sagittarius energies here, because there really is a shift in how we as a collective see spirituality and religion, how we communicate, right, with angels, and the concept of communal living, because that is Pluto and Aquarius energy, right, getting more to the communal. All right, so I do think we're going to be seeing some major shifts with how we view those things, and that could be wonderful for setting intentions, right? That we have spirituality and religion that truly sees everybody as equal, right? Communal living in the sense that we all take care of each other, and that there's a balance and a harmony to what it means for everybody having a piece of the pie. And then angels, like, I do think that this really is a message of saying, like, we're going to be seeing a lot more of the metaphysical, of the veil being lifted, if you will, and you might be having more communication, and this is even synchronicities, like with people you meet, like strangers you meet and having random conversations, but this like really resonates with you. I think we're really going to be focusing more on what these connections mean to spirituality and religion, because remember, Sagittarius is very, very closely connected to all that. All right, so let's get some archetypal energy. What archetypal energy? All right, I like that. Pioneer. All right, Pioneer is light attributes, passion for doing and creating what has not been done before. Shadow attributes, compulsive need to keep moving on. Okay, and so that is very mindful of, like, again, like that slow and steady wins the race, because if we don't put enough time into something, we might not see it to its full potential. What I love here is it's a light bulb moment with a heart in the middle. Okay, and so what did I say about that innovation of Aquarius with the compassion of Pisces? This to me is pretty important, all right? I think that in the collective with this new moon, setting intentions, for the innovations that focus more on compassion, right? clean water for everyone, and, you know, healthy living for everyone having a place to call home, and, you know, stuff like that, where it's like innovations that actually help the collective through hard work and compassion. Okay, I really love that energy. It's so interesting how like Pisces focused this is. So what that's telling me is that this nodal shift is going to be a lot more powerful than people realize when it comes to that divine feminine energy coming in, right? Because like that's another major aspect of this is, you know, leaving that the shadow masculine for more of the light feminine energy of compassion and nurturing and caring, right? All right. Ooh, I love this empowering question. If I didn't feel shame or fear, what would I do now? That is definitely connected to a childhood dream for the collective, all right? There's so much when it comes to spirituality and religion that control is obtained through fear, shame, and guilt, right? Fear, shame, and guilt. And so when it comes to that intuition, when it comes to that high priestess, when it comes to forgiveness and letting your emotions release what is holding you back, if I didn't feel shame or fear, what would I do now? Because it really is. It's about taking action and putting yourself out there right now, okay? All right, so let's see what dragon energy. Well, that wasn't easy. My gosh, that one's flying. Hold on. Omega dragon. Harness the divine, that's amazing. Harness the divine feminine power of creation, intention, hold your vision, bring the higher consciousness. Hold your vision and bring the higher consciousness, okay? Very powerful. I love this. That divine feminine power of creation, I'm telling you, like, we're going to be seeing a lot of it, and it's going to be very cathartic. It probably is going to get really emotional. This for, oh, and the sirens just went on, okay? So yeah, be on alert. This year, I'm sorry, not year, this next 18 months is probably going to get really emotional. Another thing to go back 19 years in your life, because that's the last time the nodes were in, the North Node was in Pisces. So reflect back 19 years ago and where were you at, right? And just see if there's any synchronicity. Ooh, this is important. Blue lace agate is calm expression, okay? So this is, I'm going back to that Mars retrograde in Leo. There's some fiery energy. It's retrograding, all right? That can, again, like I said, bring the drama. And so we really want to have that calm expression, okay? And know when to stay, know when to walk away when it comes to asserting yourself, when it comes to communication. Blue lace agate is beautiful if you can have some, especially too, like, let's say you know, family or work, like there's drama to begin with, like having this with you, you know, like if you have a family function or while you're at work, having it in your pocket or having a piece of jewelry or something like that, just have it with you because it can really help with that process. Okay, now we're going to do a sign by sign and then we are going to close this out. So I really hope this is resonating because it really is feeling pretty powerful and pretty amazing. I just love accepting that Ace of Cups. You know, that's something to reflect on. Like, because you'd be like, of course I want this emotional stressor. Of course I want, but there's always going to be something that can talk us out. And again, I think it's the Sun card, which is so fascinating to me. Okay, now Aries, let's see what Aries has for, ooh, 2 of Wands and 4 of Cups. Aries, do not dwell on things. Like, so this is what I was saying with the 6 of Cups, it could go 2 ways. Do not get bogged down in emotional discontentment and look at all of the options, okay? Because you want your energy to be aligned and open for new opportunities, okay? This is Mars and Aries. So asserting yourself with the high light energy of Aries, right? Very go after it, bold and fearless energy. Just utilize that with like the compassionate Pisces energy, okay? But I really want you to make sure that you don't miss an opportunity because of the vibrational energy you're putting out there with dissatisfaction, okay? All right, Taurus, let's see what Taurus has for Taurus, 9 of Wands. Okay, so that end of the reading, all right, feeling like there's, it's taking too long. Just hang in there, okay? See how you're building your strength. See how you're building your resilience. And get yourself prepared, all right? You're an earth card, so you should really be making sure that you're doing everything you can to cleanse your space, have that clearing, right? Pull out the weeds, if you will, and have patience, all right? The power of patience is so very, very, very important right now. But these challenges, you're ready for them, okay? And recognize that everything from the past, especially that 3 of Swords, has led you to where you are for a very important reason, and to have faith that that is going to come through, okay? Geminis. Oh, dang, Geminis. Look at you. Hello. This makes sense, too. Like, I'm a Gemini rising, North Node and Moon, so I watch a lot of Gemini readings in astrology, and this is actually really poignant because it's the Hangman or the Hanged One and Wheel of Fortune, and this is, I mean, really letting go and rethinking your identity, and a lot of luck coming in. All right, like Gemini is like the expansion that's coming in with this new moon and with the nodal shifts and all of this wonderful energy is really, really expansive. And so I really want you to focus on what it is that's holding you back and putting yourself out there, okay? Welcoming in this luck and expansion. That's big. So far you have the biggest. Those are 2 major arcana, and they're completely aligned with the astrology. So like I said, if you can go take a look at, I think it's Lunatic Astrology. I hope I'm not saying it wrong. I think it's Lunatic Astrology. Their Gemini for January is like exactly that. And it's really exciting. So I hope you're excited. I'm excited as a Gemini rising and moon. Okay. Cancer, 6 of Pentacles. I love this because Cancers, you are so compassionate, okay? And so if you are in a position of power, or let's say you're a parent, there's just something here to really strong emphasis of like generosity. And I absolutely love this for you. And so really paying attention to your relationship with money, how you perceive it, how you work with it. Your finances are going to be really important around this time. Like I said, that squirrel bearing its nuts energy, like just flow with your Cancer energy is really what I'm getting with this, okay? Like you really have an opportunity. If you're the benefactor, wonderful, but also if you're not, like that's somebody coming to you, right? By you just being your wonderful Cancerian self, okay? All right, Leos, what are Leos? All right, well, my goodness. Leos, your relationships are going to be front and center, and apparently very, either you're closing a chapter or opening a chapter really quickly is what this feels like to me, okay? Again, going back to that spirituality, these wings, these red wings, I'm thinking of that Sagittarius energy, of that spirituality, how we connect to spirituality, all right? There could be a relationship. It could be a relationship with yourself connected to things that are coming to light, bubbling up to the surface that the High Priestess is bringing up related to our relationships and how we work with relationships. It's also Gemini energy. But I really want you to reflect on how your relationships work with you and work against you, and including the relationship you have with yourself, all right? Because again, Mars is retrograde in your sign. And I'm sorry, Mars just went direct in your, no, it just went retrograde. Yes, sorry, I said it right first time. It just is retrograde in your sign, all right? And so that can bring up a lot for you, reflecting on how you assert yourself, why you assert yourself the way that you do, related to something from the past, okay? All right, what do we got? Virgos. All right, Virgos, what do we got for Virgos? Oh, wonderful. Virgos, you're going to be feeling this Ace of Cups. I love this. And you know why it probably makes sense, Virgos? You have already probably cleaned your house. You probably are detailing with a toothbrush. And like, that's something where it's like, I get this Ace of Cups because like, you are feeling this new year energy. You're ready to take it on. You're ready to be disciplined. You're ready to have that very rigid schedule, and making sure you're mindful of your intentions every day. You have the energy to welcome this in. So this is very exciting. You should it's going to be very personally cleansing and revitalizing. Okay, so that's like, to me, that one gave me goosebumps. So even though this is major arcana with Gemini, like this emotional fresh start is going to be like almost at a spiritual level for you. So please, please, please accept it. Okay. All right, Libras, 9 of Swords, Libras. Oh, and 4 of Swords. Dang. All right. There's a lot going on in your heads, Libras. You're an air sign, no surprise, seeing swords. I do think that this Saturn in Libra might be very important to you, so be mindful. The 4 of Swords can be needing to rest, but it can also be burnout, all right? And so you got to silence those thoughts in your head, okay? Utilize that Capricorn energy to focus on putting that energy into, like I said, reorganizing, taking a walk. Like there's just something here where those thoughts are going to keep spinning in your head until you get them in control, okay? And so the doubts, the fears, like don't fear the unknown. You just got to take action. But just be mindful of burnout, okay? That's a really important message. That's Jupiter in Libra, all right? So the expansion will come from utilizing that energy properly and not getting stuck in your head, all right? The High Priestess, you want to listen to those messages, write them down, you know, like do some journaling, because that's really going to help you, okay? All right, Scorpios. 9 of Cups, look at you. All right, so 9 of Cups is wonderful. Jupiter and Pisces expansion. So I think you're going to be recognizing that this nodal shift into your fellow water sign is going to be very emotionally fulfilling for you, okay? You're gonna be feeling a weight lifted off, all right? Again, too, like now that going back to Cancer, I do think that Cancer energy, like you're gonna be feeling more of that benefactor, you know, type of energy and feeling more confident, right? Because this is definitely a confident energy too, all right? So giving gratitude, focusing on that Pisces, the expansion is going to come from really harnessing your fellow water sign of Pisces and giving gratitude every day, all right? And knowing you deserve it, all right? Scorpio, that's important too, knowing you deserve it and just giving thanks, all right? Wishes do come true. Your fellow Pisces sign is there to tell you, and yet nodal shift is here to say, yes, your wishes do come true, okay? So focus your energy and your intentions on what you want. And let's see, Sagittarius. Oops. Hold on, we got to redo that. Sagittarius. All right, Sagittarius. Oh, I saw 7 of Swords. You're going to want to be careful with how you assert yourself. Yes, the Knight of Wands in the world. Okay, Knight of Wands. It's Scorpio energy, but it's fiery. Seeking out new experiences that make you feel alive. The world, a completion, karmic completion, success, synchronicities, and fulfillment. Sagittarius, you are meant to get out there. So that Mercury in Sagittarius, like you're meant to speak what you want and take action, all right? This is like communication through like putting out your resume. You know, you're talking to friends. Like if you want a new job, like make sure you're speaking it out there. You know, obviously not to like your boss, but like just make sure that you are doing it, like writing your intentions of, I want new experiences to come into my life that make me feel alive, and saying yes to them. Okay. That's very important, because Saturn here, if there's a lesson that's holding you back from being completely engaged, you're going to see below the surface and allow that to just be cleared. All right. And just move on. All right. This is charging forward and not looking back. Very, very exciting energy. All right, Capricorns, let's see what Capricorns got going on. Capricorns, oh, wow. Knight of Cups and Queen of Cups. So this is very interesting. So like I said, that Capricorn energy, so much water coming out. So it's very fascinating to see this too. Mother nurturing energy and fulfilling nurturing, or I'm sorry, emotionally fulfilling energy coming in here. You really want to be in touch with what you truly want emotionally and welcome it in, okay? This could be too that like you're not, like there is something lacking emotionally from a mother figure, and that's like part of this healing process, okay? But people in your life and the emotional, expectations you have and the emotional fulfillment you receive or don't receive is going to be a really important highlight for you. And so your intentions might be really set on that. Like, what does emotional fulfillment look like to you? And perhaps it is connected to a mother figure from the past, okay? All right, Aquarius. What has Aquarius got? Dang, Aquarius, you got a lot on. Wow. Well, I mean, this makes sense with Pluto and Aquarius. Okay. The Devil, the Tower, Seven of Pentacles. All right. Be very mindful with that air energy, your thoughts, all right, and what you're putting into a major shakeup. You know, the Devil, it doesn't have to be negative. That's Capricorn, all right? Understanding the nature of appearances and this Tower energy. Remember, the Tower is not just something collapsing, it's a breakthrough, okay? And so if this is connected to something financially or, you know, like with your, you know, health and wellness, there's going to be a major breakthrough to push you, like to move you forward. And I think that Nine of Wands is going to be super important because you're going to be able to utilize that for your goals, all right? So just stay focused on the future, and don't let the shadow energy try and pull you back, okay? Because the shadow energy, like I said, even if you have this major opportunity come to you, your shadow can talk you out of anything if you let it take the lead, all right? All right, Pisces, last but not least, my fellow Pisces. Pisces, Four of Pentacles. This is, I mean, for me, it makes sense. This is Sun and Capricorn energy. It's about stability. It's also having the faith that the universe will provide for you, right? Contemplating your relationship with money. Pisces, I do think that you have a lot of that squirrel energy, right? And like, you're a lot more conscious of your finances, your stability, and your security, right? I do think that like setting intentions related to financial stability, financial security, and new opportunities for growing those is going to be really important, okay? Making sure that the grounded earth energy is going to be so important with the free flowing nodal, because guess what, like it's going to be moving fast and it's going to be going with the flow. But Pisces, we love to spend, okay? And so like I do think though, like you have this in you where it's like all of this wealth is coming in, but we don't want to spend it all, okay? So, you know, tough problem to have. But anyways, everybody, thank you so much for joining me. This was a long one, but I feel like this new moon, again, being the second new moon, a black moon, right before the new year, it is so important that we collectively align ourselves in a certain particular way, cleansing what needs to be like the reset button, right? This is a reset button. So utilize it to the best that you can. Hard work, compassion, right? And yeah, just align with the future and leave the past behind. So thank you so much for joining me. And as always, shine your inner light. We've got this.